What's going on, fight fans? I'm Jay Cotto, the Boxing Jedi, and welcome to the Boxing and Jedi's Temple and your early morning edition of The Insight. And of course, what you just heard was a fax machine ready to send you the facts, because we're going to go over what's been talked about a lot, but people have not been breaking it down completely. And I've got visuals, I've got fucking histories, I've got all types of shits with no filibusters, no lies, no nothing, in order for you guys to understand, the young ones that is, so you guys can understand as us old guys take a trip down memory lane and say, I remember. But the rest of you guys are going to be in awe. In awe. What's up, Brian Hawkin? My brother. No doubt. Everybody go check out Brian Hawkin channel. Very knowledgeable fella. How you doing, my brother? God bless you. Good morning. Everybody hit the like on the way in, and let's get this fucking show on the road. Let's get some education going on here for you youngsters who continue to say that today's middleweights were much better than the best middleweight ever, which is Marvelous Marvin Hagler. We're going to show you exactly why. But before we do, I need to mention something, okay? And what I'm going to mention is this. What I'm going to say is this. We could respect your opinions, but once you try to make your opinion a fact, this is where you go wrong. Especially an opinion that you say is a fact, but yet has no type of fact whatsoever, no research done, nothing. So, gentlemen like myself here who are uploaders, as to Brian and, Mark Unrivaled and the Boxing Librarian and Rod Slot 222 and 10 players and so on and so forth. When we come on here, we let you guys know, look, this is what we're doing. It goes like this because it is like this. And this is how we're going to show you how this goes. So without any further ado, allow me to show you young guys, along with the rest of my boxing bros, that I will be passing the link out on the stream in a couple of minutes. Allow us to show you how it's really done. Now, today's fighters have no movement in the middleweight division, that is, have no movement, have no killer instinct, have no pedigree as to this great right here.
He is a guy who, it seems, has been fighting his entire life. First to escape his environment, then for respect, and now he is fighting for recognizability.
Hagler is 7th rated now in the world. He's the one with no hair and a good left hand. That Hagler looks strong.
Oh, he's what we call a bricklayer in our trade.
He's tough from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet.
I mean, Marvin Hagler is a brilliant technical boxer, can switch from southpaw to orthodox, like, fluid.
He's right-handed again. There he goes.
Oh, best puncher,
the best puncher tonight.
Like, you didn't even notice the difference. He fought just as good from both sides. And he knocked everybody out.
There are no fighters today with this type of instinct, with this type of movement, with these type of reflexes, with that type of fucking push and stride. Marvelous Marvin Hagler would have killed every fucking middleweight style today. These are facts. If anybody wants to debate, we can do this. What you were seeing before you, and when you little guys compare this gargantuan man within the sport of boxing that has ruled, that has dominated the middleweight division in his era, the way he has. You guys who put these young guys before this king, this is a real king. You guys have no idea. You do not see movement, pedigree, nor killer instinct like this in today's middleweight division.
I should stop this fight. Hagler just looking to referee and ask him to stop it.
Well, it's a damn practice. There it is. The winner's Marvin Hagler. His 31st knockout. It came with 38 seconds left in round number 8.
For 8 years, he worked construction by day and fought by night, earning.
Now, of course, if you work construction, which is manual labor, it's very, very physical. And you can box as well. This man was made of nothing but pure steel, bro, pure grit. This man is the only man that I know within the sport of boxing that has fucked adversity up.
Purses of a few $100s.
Hagler coming into this fight has won 12 fights in.
Remember in yesterday's live when I said there is no incentive once they started giving out all of these millions and breaking up the pay-per-views into 5 bodies the way they have, lying to us? Remember when I said that? Well, you just heard he would fight for only a few $100. Imagine how many times he fought a night. Only 30 fights in his Army career that haven't been recorded. I wonder what those look like. Makes you wonder. And if you're not, you should start. You should start wondering. You should start asking yourself. And then allow me, Rosclot, Brian, 10 players, so on and so forth that know the truth already. Allow the truth to set into your fucking little fickle, feeble mind. Or plural, minds.
In a row, 11 of them by knockout.
The marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Marvin had to grind his way up in the fight game.
Good uppercut by Hagler.
Well, what Hagler is a real honest workman. He's in there, he's putting pressure on you, he's moving his hands all the time.
Marvin Hagler now runs his record.
What's going on? My man Joshua Littleton in the house. What's going on, my brother? Now, you notice the little subtle movements. He did not waste any time. Every time he used his footwork, every time he took a step, there was 1, 2, maybe 3 punches behind it. Work rate, ridiculous. Every round. Every round. No incomplete work. My man was on top.
To 41, 2-1.
His perseverance through the corrupt world of boxing was one of his strongest attributes.
Is it true that Joe Frazier once said something to you a long time ago that you had 3 strikes against you?
3 strikes.
Can you tell me about that?
One
Now
was
pay
I
it.
was black.
Now pay attention. When they asked you had 3 strikes against you, what is that? In his time, where he grew up with riots and segregation, that time, what's being fabricated today wasn't even called back then in boxing. Why is this shit here today? Because they have weaponized racism. Pay attention. Look at the times. Look how they weaponize things. Look how these so-called fighters need a fucking insurance policy.
Second one that I was a southpaw. And the third one that I was good.
He was right, wasn't he?
Yes, he was right.
46 fights and still no title shot.
46 fights, still no title shots. Let me ask you fucking guys a question. Okay? Let me ask you guys a question. Before we do, allow me to send you some facts. You know what I'm saying? First of all, when you look at a man like this, who went 46 fights without a title shot, yeah, because they were scared of him. They were fucking scared of him. He was good. At the same time, hold up. Was it just mentioned that on the fly, at his will, he could have become an ambidextrous boxer as well, switching on motherfuckers? Wait, hold up, wait a minute. Jedi, Rosclot, Brian, Joshua, Are we saying now that Marvelous Marvin Hagler is basically a boxing savant? Yes. 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 Let me ask you the question I wanted to ask you feeble-minded motherfuckers out there that say that Hagler or Canelo or everybody else is better than fucking Hagler. Let me ask you guys a question now. 46 fights in the era he was in. They didn't give him a title shot. He knew it was about racism. Never weaponized it. Just kept pushing forward. The question here to you feeble-minded motherfuckers is, your so-called champions today, your Charlos, your whatever the fucks. How fast did they gain a title? Exactly. 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 Politics have been watered down to nurse and aid and placate these fighters. And whatever agenda the promoters have in making them a serial-faced boxer.
Bad old days of boxing, it was not uncommon for worthy challengers to be overlooked, ignored, and bypassed, especially if, like Hagler, they come from out-of-the-way places without connections in the boxing establishment.
Now, let me tell you another thing. Everybody's talking shit about Larry Merchant. Larry Merchant don't know shit about boxing. Do you know how long this man has been covering boxing? He's been covering boxing while he was covering boxing, most of us were still swimming in Papa's nuts before we were shot out, dog. Most of y'all were learning your fucking vowels, your syllables, your fucking ABCs, your numeric system. Y'all were learning. Most of y'all were learning how to walk or just started learning how to walk. So who the fuck are you? And I'm going to throw myself and you guys in here too, because we as a boxing as a whole, right, as a whole collective, who the fuck are we, if we've ever done it, who the fuck are we to say that Larry Merchant and especially Mayweather don't know shit about boxing? Mayweather, when you told Larry Merchant he don't know shit about boxing, he should be fired, everybody laughed at you. The only ones that agreed with you are the ones that were stuck under your nuts, your gooch, the gooch crew. Not us. Not us. We saw right through that facade. So now when fighters like this are mentioned, and you guys say fighters of today do better than, get the fuck out of here, bro. Continue receiving the facts on this man's accolades.
I felt as though I never got the respect on which I deserve in the beginning part of my career.
It was his intensity and his whole attitude to the game that meant, you know, we could all identify with him.
Subtle movements, not a punch wasted. No opponent made him do errors at this time. No opponents made him make an error. And if he overpunched, he corrected, set it up with defense, set himself back up, should I say, with defense, and corrected that mistake. This is why Marvelous Marvin Hagler advanced and learned it from every fight. Do you see fighters today challenging themselves and earning and adding on to their pedigree in this fucking era? Not at all. Who the fuck are we to say that Marvelous Marvin Hagler is not a GOAT? Is not the GOAT, the best middleweight ever? A black man. A man who, when you speak boxing in the middleweight division, is the face of the middleweight fucking division. Bottom line. No disrespect to none of these fucking warriors today like Gennady Golovkin or anyone else that have done their due. But even Gennady Golovkin has said when they told him, you're better, he told them right away, shut him down. No, please, no. Marvin, no, he legend, he king. It's out there. Go look for it. The fuck out of here with your fanboyism.
Relentless aggression had made him a fan favorite, but his rough exterior and southpaw style didn't play to corporate America.
Nearly 50 fights before he...
Peace to Left Nut. What's going on, Left Nut? No doubt, bro. Welcome to the stream, my brother. Good morning to you.
got a chance.
Joe Frazier warned him, didn't he, very early on?
Smoking Joe said that. Yeah.
Eventually, Senator Kennedy had to file a formal inquiry in order to get the Boxing Commission to force a title.
Let me ask you something now. In those times, regardless there was racism, regardless Marvelous Marvin Hagler knew at that time he was a target and it was going to be impossible for him to succeed because he was successful whooping ass and he just happened to be black. But even at that time, you had a senator who was white, which was just displayed and you know, you were just informed. And it was Bob Arum who had given Hagler a title shot. So not only did a white man from the Senate petition for this black man, this great fighter. I mean, for Marvelous Marvin Hagler to catch the attention of the Senate, and for one of them, a white man, for you fucking tribalistic motherfuckers out there, and you dumb SJWs, had helped a black man. Handle his business. Why do we have this today? Because it's weaponized.
Title shot.
It took him 7 years to get a shot at the title. Had to actually take his case to the US Senate, and they had a couple of senators actually start making inquiries before Bob Arum then granted him his first shot against Vito Antuofermo.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler, the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Vito Antuofermo.
Finally, Marvin would get his first shot at the middleweight title.
Oh, right lead going Hagler. He is really chewing up Antuofermo.
My example here being correct as to him making his own mistakes and recovering, you just saw that a few seconds ago. He set up with the defense, reset, and scored 2 points on the champ.
The fight would go the distance.
They've had a pretty decent go of it. Fatigue is understandable. They're in the 12th round. Now it's Hagler. Toe to toe. The crowd on its feet. Look at the crowd. Stand as one. The end of the fight. Hagler feels that he is.
Hagler was ahead on the unofficial scorecard, but it's boxing, so
The decision is a draw.
It's a draw.
Antuofermo is still.
Vito retains the title.
Now, of course, boxing was dirty. Politics. What's up, Jed? What's going on, brother? And he lost, supposedly, knowing that, you know, it happens today. No doubt, it happens today. But even though back then in his time he had more of an excuse to call racisms and all the schisms and isms and schisms and philisms that there is out there, bro, he did not do this. Not even the fight fans back then were even screaming that shit. This is the difference between my era and my boys out there. When I speak of my era, you know you're down with it too. And even the new guys that have taken the responsibility to do the research, you're down with me when I say this. This is why my era is better than your era. My era was full of innovators. Your era is full of imitators. We had innovators, you have imitators. Catch the facts. Word up. Catch the motherfucking facts. Catch the motherfucking facts.
Absolutely disgusting.
The draw was a confirmation of all the things Marvin believed about the sport of boxing. He vowed never to leave it in the judges' hands again.
You can't leave it up to the referee, and you can't leave it up to the judges. There's only one way to do it, is to do it my way.
And they are both 27 years of age. Marvin Hagler, born in Newark, New Jersey, now lives in Brockton, Mass.
Now you notice he said, you can't leave it up to the judges. You can't leave it up to the judges. You can't. You can't leave it up to the judges. You see this man's record at that time? With 2 losses and 2 draws? Those are not supposed to be there. Those are not supposed to be there. But the politics of back then, which is still here today, the politics back then didn't allow this man to have the purest boxing resume. They took that from him, even though to this day, in the words of the Allah the Book King, this man reigns supreme and does have a perfect boxing record. Lift the veil.
Massachusetts, as we see his record.
Undeterred by the injustice, Marvin would demolish undefeated Lusif Hamani in his next outing.
Hagler will switch hands. Softball, but he'll go right-handed.
It's like a performer. I practice and practice and practice right here. The fight night, everything's got to come out perfect.
I'll be sending out the links in 5 minutes, guys. Hold on.
He dropped him in iconic style.
Another right hand. That's it.
Who in this generation fights like this today in the middleweight division? Who is a fucking killer and knows that from this day forward, since they robbed me and they made it perfectly clear that the color of my skin at that time of the politics, right, of the real racisms that was going on when America was really divided, this man let his fucking hands and his work ethic do all of the fucking talking, which is what should be done to fucking date. But instead, we've got Twitter champions, email champions, Facebook champions, YouTube fucking champions and prospects. I mean, really.
Hamani knocked right through these very loose ropes into the press row. As Hagler with a good short straight right. That was a damaging punch. And Hamani knocked right through.
Hagler hadn't lost in over 4 years. 22 straight fights.
22 straight fights. You don't lose in 4 years. That's without having a title, bro. That's just going out there defending your name. How do you fucking idiots say that this man fought cab drivers, but you're not understanding the work ethic of the cab drivers back then when there was incentive? Making only hundreds of dollars a night when you fought? Well, that night when you fought, times were hard, but these are cab drivers? So then if these guys were cab drivers of then, the guys today that haven't taken the responsibility to make themselves great like these cab drivers have done, that most of these cab drivers are known as fierce motherfucking competitors, then you know what? Today's motherfucking competitors and guys that haven't taken the responsibility to make themselves great, to make the others great, to call this era great, they're fucking babies. At least we had men who were cab drivers who were at least driving that cab, going to work and doing what they were supposed to do. Either way, their work ethic made them what the fuck they are, which were great contenders. You guys kick and scream when you can't get something. You guys twit to each other using your thumbs instead of using your hands on a speed bag. You guys fucking heavyweight champions don't even run correctly. Don't even fucking hit bags correctly. Don't even hit the pads correctly. Don't even do dieting correctly. You got motherfuckers in the middleweight division that need clenbuterol levels fucking lowered down in order to fucking fit in to be called great, or even after the aptitudinal level to this motherfucker here called Marvelous Marvin Hagler. You guys can go suck a whole bunch of motherfucking monkey dick. I don't really give a fuck who catching feelings over this shit because, like I said, facts over feelings. The facts of life. Catch the facts.
You can tell by the sound of the crowd, as we suggested in the conversation with Bobby Watts, this is Hagler country.
He's lost only twice. He easily beat the men who beat him in return fights. He's never been stopped, amateur or pro.
Then he went in the ring against Bobby Watts, who had previously defeated him. He got rid of him in 2 rounds.
Hagler at times has been quite boastful, quite boisterous.
War. That's what's on my mind.
Hard right hand by Hagler. Appeared to hurt Watts. Watts it down. Just about the halfway point of the second round. Watts hurt by a right hand.
And one of Hagler's incredible attributes, besides his skill, was his determination to win.
Determination. On top of competitiveness, determination, which is part of that armor that consists of competitiveness. Do these guys have any type of determination today besides fucking chasing Washingtons and fucking Benjamins, bro? Huh? Unique Dawn, what's going on? No doubt. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the fact of life. It's Hagler's life. When you know you gotta grow and show, you know you gotta go, and now there's Hagler's life. It's Hagler's life. When the world never sees, you be living up to your dreams. You punch a nigga in the face and knock a motherfucker out. Ooh, ooh. It takes a left and right to win, but it's the facts of life, you gimp. Word up, son. Bunch of fucking gimps with balls in your mouth in a leather suit with ass chaps out here with your Twinkies flapping for New Jacks that ain't even flapped the Jacks yet, dog. This nigga ate motherfuckers for breakfast, lunch, dinner, motherfucking in between snacks, nigga. The next day he had brunch. The fuck out of here, bro. Today we're giving out inline skates, bro. That's the means of transportation for you niggas to get the fuck out our faces with that bullshit.
So Marvin Hagler continues to be one of the most impressive middleweights in all the world.
Hagler would get another shot at the middleweight title.
Alan Minter became one of only a handful of British fighters to actually gain a world championship in the United States with his victory over Vito.
Now, let me explain something about this fight here. In England, I know times has changed. I know the times have changed. Ladies and gentlemen, we know the times have changed. England does not take blame for any of this whatsoever. They've already owned up to this. There are historical records and proof of fans and fighters and promoters and you know what I mean? And sanctioning bodies who actually came down on Minter hard for saying what Bernard Hopkins tried to say, which makes him a racist, which makes Minter a racist, which is, I will never lose a title to a black man. Yeah, just in case you guys didn't know.
Alberto Antuofermo in March 1980.
This time against newly minted champion Alan Minter in Wembley Arena.
Hagler came to London for the fight that cost Minter the title and British boxing its good name.
And Alan Minter didn't particularly help the case. He gave an interview to Des Lynam for Sports Night where he said, "I'll never lose my title to a black man."
Minter was the heavy crowd favorite as the Brits showered their champion with cheers.
As you look at the crowd, which has just sung God Save the Queen, it is always a moving scene. I must say, having covered a number of Hagler fights, I have never seen him so well conditioned. Round one. Round is underway. Round one. You'll hear this British crowd roar with every exchange, particularly if one exchange favors Minter.
The Marvelous One beat Minter senseless for 3 rounds.
Blood pouring out of Minter's nose now, pouring out.
And he butchered Minter.
And Minter is leaving himself open with this tactic. Blood rushing forward. Again the right leg, that's the second time. Now, the referee, Garrison, has the corner man. The fight stopped. It's over that quickly. The middleweight champion of the world is Marvin Hagler.
The fight was stopped in the 3rd round.
Now bottles are being thrown into the ring and beer cans.
Now this was disgusting. This was something that almost ruined boxing in England. This was very disgraceful and very disrespectful at that time. That is, let's be clear of that. At that time, people have learned from this. This was never done to any black man or any other fighter ever since. It seems like in this era where they, how do you say, weaponize racism, is exactly where they want this to go. They want this to happen to the opponent like Tyson Fury because he beat Wilder. This is what they wanted. This is what all these guys want from these brainwashed fan base. That when they lose, they want an outrage to say it's not fair when they got beat fair and square. This is what they want. This is what they want. Are we past this? Huh? LDPC, aka LDPC? Huh? Aren't we supposed to be past this? LDPC? Didn't Britain go through this in order for us not to go through this? LDPC? Huh?
Chorus of boos under a hailstorm of bottles and trash baptized the new champion.
He's won it in 3 rounds, and people are throwing beer cans. One's rented on me, and this is the worst scenes we've ever seen at Wembley in any boxing ring in this country. It's absolute chaos.
He's the only world title holder that when he won the world title, he never received his belt in the ring because the riot happened afterwards. He was still never heralded.
That's fucked up. Never was handed, never went through the regular ass ceremony of taking a picture with the ref, the ring officials, your title being handed to you. Never got it. He didn't deserve any of this. At that time, when there was real racism, when the politics were really fucked up. Now, when you look at it, this is what they're trying to do. This is what they're trying to bring back for no apparent fucking reason. Well, there's one. I'm sorry. There's one. And I'm not lying to you. I just corrected myself. I just caught myself, guys. There's one. It's called placating. Bottom line, placating.
As a champion in the ring was what he used to fuel him through the next 12 defenses that he had.
Every time that it seems that I talk to an English person, even the people that are over here that come from England, they apologize to me so much, apologetic. And I tell them the same thing. I don't hold any grudges, only grudges that I hold from my fighters.
So now you guys that are caping for Teofimo, Loma, Joshua, Fury, Wilder, Canelo, when you become an extreme, that's who the fuck you were. Just remember that. When you do that to the fighter that's opposite of your fighter, knowing your fighter ain't shit to that fighter, this is what you're doing. You're fucking giving him the fucking Minton special, son. Let's bring that into the boxing slant in this community. When you guys do that, you're giving him the fucking Minton treatment, bro. You're disgracing the sport when you do that. England went through that, so we won't have to go through this.
Now the undisputed champ, Hagler would get his first real payday, along with national attention.
I got here the hard way, and I'm planning on staying here. I'm leaving it up to my manager and trainer to figure out who's next, and I'm planning on being here for a long time.
Until February of 1979, the biggest payday that Marvin Hagler ever had was $15,000. That, by boxing standards.
Biggest payday, $15,000. Middleweight champion of the world. Incentive, work ethic, determination, competitiveness, focus is there. Are you motherfuckers sure you don't want to crown this man the best middleweight to ever exist? Are you sure you motherfuckers want to compare these newborn fucking babies, bullshit ass so-called shit you call legacies to this fucking giant, this gargantuan, this fucking juggernaut in boxing? Are you sure? You can change your minds now. You can change your fucking minds now. We'll allow it. You can redeem yourself. Send the facts.
Not a whole lot of money, and it wasn't that long ago. Between the television rights fee and the live gate, Hagler will wind up with.
Hagler came into the fight in the best shape of his life.
Over my heels in the dark front for the red stripe. The champion Marvin Hagler in the red front.
He's never out of shape. He never partied. He never did anything stupid.
His signature style of relentless.
Who in the middleweight division is nasty like that in the pocket? Take the fandom cock out your mouth.
Aggression was on full display to the world.
Bro, my man tried to hold his motherfucking lead, and on the break, without the ref breaking, my man crossed him, dog. Then he hit him with a short fucking... Bro, you don't wear these guys movements like that today, wasting no punches and not hesitating at all, just letting him go, baby. Letting him go like a baby flying the fucking coop. Let it go. Frozen, nigga.
Good wax that time by Hagler, and that staggers Obel for just a moment. And another combination has Obel a little bit wobbly right now. Hagler looks like a raging bull right here. Another combination by Hagler, staggers Obel again, and there's a right hand to the top of the head, and Obel was more staggered.
Come on, bro. You heard the word. Every time coming from the announcer. Stagger. Hagler. Stagger. Oh, man. Bars, bro. Bars. My man was stagger. Was marvelous stagger Hagler. Son, that's a... Not only was he marvelous, he staggered motherfuckers, bro. Oh, come on, bro.
And 3, 4 quick punches and a right hand to the top of the head. Staggers Obel. Octavio announces, that's all. That's enough. Marvin Hagler is still the champion of the world.
Quite impressed with Obel, but he has nothing to feel sorry about. He fought a great champion.
He definitely did. Marvin Hagler really is the eternal professional.
That was when the WBC was the WBC. What's up, Curtis Anderson? Good morning, my brother. God bless you, Giuseppe La Rocca. The motherfucking general's in the house. What's going on, guys? Good morning, man. Yeah, but we're just changing these young guys' diapers and shit, allowing them enough fucking room to, redeem themselves from their so-called boxing opinions that they're calling fact. You know what I mean? And of course, we got the hashtag come back to boxing facts machine. That's what? Send in the facts. That's right. We're handing out boxing diplomas today to motherfuckers who are incoherent with the sport, who just don't understand it, who have ADH, motherfucking boxing D.
That belt after all these lickings that you didn't took and all that hard road work and everything like this, great, they just can't take it away from you.
Next up, a rematch with Vito and Tufermo, the man who had denied
that face that is usually covered by her phone.
Sorry, guys, got to pay the bills. Let's get it.
Him his first title shot years earlier.
Marvin Hagler, probably the most popular athlete in the state of Massachusetts right now.
Vito rushed out, bumped heads, and immediately opened a cut over his eye.
He defeated Vito Antuofermo in their rematch, knocked him out in 5.
And there is a left hand that puts Antuofermo down. End of round 4. And now you heard Davey Pearl said he quit. Marvin Hagler's hand is raised. Vito Antuofermo does not like it.
As you may know, there are two controlling authorities in world boxing, the WBA and the WBC. In most weights, they recognize different champions. Only at middleweight is the World Championship unified. Hagler is the undisputed best.
Marvin Hagler making his way now down the stairs in the ante-room to the horizon here. He's a very persistent human being because most fighters who had to go over the hurdles and through the obstacles he did would have given up a long time ago.
He's a very popular fighter, been around a long time, had a lot of trouble getting fights. People just didn't want any part of him, and now
This is the man who we should call in boxing the epitome of motherfuckers ducking him. Because today the word duck seems to be thrown around lightly, even though pricing yourself out is a form of ducking. But actually wanting no parts of a man, you see that a lot today. And all they do is prop up the duck. They dress the duck up with the fucking outfit of what? See my manager. Talk to my promoter. If he got the money, we make it happen. Right.
of course, it's his third title defense as he comes into the ring now.
Because Hagler's going to box him, going to outmaneuver him. And Hagler's right jab is very effective.
Another title defense with yet another series of cuts being opened by Hagler's ferocious jab.
He said that he would knock me out. He's got a nasty smile on his face, which I don't like, and I wanted to take that smile off his face, and which I did.
You didn't know better. You would think that Hamsho is trying to break Hagler's hands with his jaw.
And there's the right hand, sends Hamsho back a couple of steps.
Woo! Did you see that? Recovery. Resetting. Look at his position. Look where that left is. Right at the chin level, ready to block. Look where the right is, the lead. In position to jab, to keep the distance, to land across, bro. An uppercut, a hook. A fucking middleweight savant, bro. Fuck what you heard. Fuck Canelo. Fuck Triple G. And I'm sorry, if you guys are catching feelings over this, I don't give a fuck. Because I'm not speaking of the man's skin. I'm speaking of the man's soul. I'm speaking of the man himself. The greatest middleweight champion ever. Fuck holding a crown. because he was already marvelous. Before they fucking held the crown and for fucking hostage and moved it away from him. He had already defeated that. This is the only man who we could say had worked so hard that his name in boxing, had he had no title, today, we could actually say his name is more important than these fucking titles. Oh yeah, I said it. Send the facts. That's right. That's right. And I know y'all niggas got them facts. I know you got the facts. If not, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. When I give out the links, prove me wrong. Besides the gentlemen that want to come up in a panel and break this shit down and help me educate, anybody else who feels any type of fuck with, prove me the fuck wrong, son. How do you fight? You're undefeated for 4 fucking years, dog. Then you win the championship for 6 years. You defend it for... What the fuck?
A lot of combinations. Rocked Ham Show.
Combinations of punches by the champion. Tries to go downstairs. Comes up the right hand side. Campo's against the run. Takes another right hand. And an uppercut. Campo's corner is up.
Not one punch wasted. Angled punches. Telegraphing the opponent's movement after damage is done to fucking find a clearer shot to land more fucking punishment. To henceforth finish your fucking adversary. Cobra Kai shit, son. The epitome of adversity, son. Marvelous Marvin Hagler done fucked adversity up, and adversity won't even admit it. You know who's adversity? You stupid educationalist motherfuckers out there. Yeah, I made up a word. That's right. You motherfuckers who have no education on the sport of boxing, who are out here making channels or coming on channels, coming on panels. Oh, shit. Bars. You know what I'm saying? Talk about, oh, yeah, I know what the fuck I'm saying. Marvelous Marvin Hagler ain't nobody because he lost 3 times. Never was knocked out. All 3 of those, you could say, were questionable losses, dog. How is it that you can question other people's fucking losses and then say, when you're a fighter like Canelo has many questionable losses, bro, not questionable like Hagler's, where you can say, nah. Those are robberies, bro. They don't belong there, like I said earlier in the cast. I'm saying it now. That compared to that, your guys like Canelo rob motherfuckers, and y'all give that a pass. This man has never used that. As a matter of fact, he was on the offensive side of the judges, and he never let it go to the judges' hands. Where do you see today, motherfuckers, some, not all, where do you see these guys that you have named, even in lower weight classes, not leaving it in the ref's hands, bro? Errol Spence Jr. has been leaving shit to the ref's hands. You can already tell. Cover girl, he's propped up. Terrence Bud Crawford knocks motherfuckers out. How do you not know the difference? Wilder got comfortable trying to leave it to the judges. Fury decided not to leave the next fight into the judges' hands. And you guys are out here making all type of fucking excuses and using all types of isms in order to give this grown man an excuse coming from grown-ass men. Huh, Ladabaka community? Huh? Huh? The LDBC pronounced Ladabaka is on some bullshit, son.
You can't say anything, but this guy is truly Hagler, the greatest middleweight in the world.
What did Sugar Ray Leonard just finish saying? What did Sugar Ray Leonard finish saying? That we are looking at the world's greatest middleweight champion. And that was in that fucking era. You fucking morons. You fucking idiots. You non-boxing fucking fans, bro. You fucking fanboys, bro. All you fucking GGG, Canelo, Loma, fucking Errol Spence Jr., Mayweather, cock goblin motherfuckers, bro. You gobbly goobers, bro. Take the dick out your mouth, dog. Because what I'm saying, no. I am not riding Marvin Hagler's dick. I am telling the facts, the truth from the man's work ethic. You guys don't speak on your man's work ethic. And when you do, it comes up very short like a midget in an orgy. And you wind up looking as low as that motherfucking midget's self-esteem. So shut the fuck up, bro. Niggas need to pass the wipes because I'm about to finish wiping this little kid's ass.
He is, many observers feel, a better fighter now than he was when he won the title more than 2 years ago. He's turned his frustration while struggling toward the top into a positive crusade to stay there.
The temporalis is a muscle that runs across the skull and is a 1/4 inch thick. Marvin Hagler's temporalis muscle is 1 inch thick.
He had
boxing savant. Made for boxing. God made this man to fight. When you were born with gifts, physical gifts, and within your fucking anatomy, God blesses you with certain types of shielding to protect you. You are chosen. You are blessed. You are the prime example that was created by God to show people how the art of fighting is done. Boxing savant.
giant muscles on the side of his head. Like he was born with headgear. This was like a big thing in the world of sports back in the day. Like that he was literally almost born for this.
And the chant starts to pick up now for the man they call around this part of the country, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. And we're ready to go. The World Middleweight Championship on the line. Marvin Hagler defending against Caveman Lee, a consolidation of the rules between the WBA and the WBC.
And Marvin starts moving in for the kill.
Stiff right hand by Hagler. Hard left.
Where do you see that today? Where do you see such hunger today? Where do you see that? Where do you see flawlessness like this, bro? Where do you see this today in this middleweight division? Where do you see this? Some are doing it. Some. How many words or how many letters are in, should I say, how many letters are in some? That's how many are doing it today. No lie. No lie. That is not a lie.
Let's watch again.
Perfect. Perfect straight line.
Lee says he's all right. He doesn't look it. He's wobbly. He's in trouble. A right hand, a left hook to the side of the head. Hagler said he didn't want it to go very long, and it's not going to go very long. It is over. Lee sags against the rope. He's out of it. Marvin Hagler has knocked him out. It took 1 minute and 7 seconds for Marvin Hagler to knock out
Marvin was far more than just a big puncher. Hagler spends the months before a fight alone, training in isolation.
He'd lock himself away in a self-imposed prison in Cape Cod for 8 weeks before a fight.
He stayed here at the Province Inn, an empty hotel with a strong, shining vibe.
My man would isolate himself and master his craft. Where do you see this? Apology, man? No, he wouldn't. I'm sorry, my man. Charlo would not give any type of problem to Marvelous Marvin Hagler, bro. He would be an easy puzzle to figure out. There is no way. There is no way that Charlo would even land power shots on him. There's no way. This man used to fly to another country and isolate himself. You're about to hear this, to practice his craft. Charlo don't do this. These guys drink, they party, they chill in their cribs. They're on. Instead of wasting all that time doing that shit, they should be hardening their bodies. They should be adding more to their arsenal. But instead, they're sitting on their ass. None of these guys. I respect your opinion, but that's not a fact, my man. Charlo would never, ever, him or his brother, big or small. You know what I'm saying? The size would not matter either. Remember, John Mugabe is bigger than both of them. What did he do to John Mugabe, who is a much better fighter than both Charlos? How do we do this? How do we look at the resumes? Look at the accomplishments. These guys aren't even a third. If there was a tank to fill to try to to measure, these guys aren't even a third tank full, bro. And these are boxing facts, bro. Ask around. Look around your boxing bros here, my man. Apology, man. And they'll tell you, these guys know their shit. Most of these guys have their own channel. And their demographics, when they speak, when you look at the thumbs up and the comments, there are other people out here that basically agree with everything that they say, because it's not that the gospel becomes doctrine or vice versa. It's just the fact is the gospel, bro. An opinion is indoctrinated. You break it down, and then the facts come out, which makes whatever's left of it a gospel, where you can just spread it now and tell the truth. I'm just saying, the Charlos are babies, bro. Their uneducated jab against a master class jab, even in a dream match, wouldn't add up.
Here's Johnny. And he'd put himself into this monastic existence merely so he could get himself.
And you know what's funny? My man used to train alone in the abandoned hotel that they're telling you right now. This is not a myth. This is not made up. He used to where they filmed the fucking the movie what's that movie with Jack Nicholson? Here's Johnny. I forgot the name. The Shining. Bro, he isolated himself there and practiced in that fucking abandoned hotel, bro. Are you crazy? These guys don't have this mind. They don't have this focus, this zone, this passion. These guys are all about the paper. This man was about looking good, testing his skill, and asking himself the question every time he fought, what I've practiced, can I land that on somebody who's good?
So he could blame his opponent for it.
Also, before I move forward with this, also got to understand, apology, man, it is your opponents who make you who you are in that ring. Understand that. If your opponent is low level, you're going to have a low level fight. Henceforth, when you fight a high quality, skilled fucking fighter, you're going to come up short. Look at the examples. You had Danny Garcia fighting low quality. Then when he stepped up in competition, he lost to the motherfuckers who are so-called elite in his class because he tarnished his fucking pedigree by doing that. If you're already a champion and you go and you fight some scrub niggas that are ranked 43, 35, and you're on top of the world, what are you doing there? You're supposed to fight 1, 2, 3, and 4, at least 5, right? Most of these guys don't even use a ranking system today. But this guy would, Marvelous Marvin Hagler used to go train in the abandoned hotel where they filmed The Shining, son. Are you guys learning a lot? I hope you are. Because this is pure boxing love I'm giving to you. All of y'all, my little bros, my big bros, my mediocre bros. Even if you're new to the stream and new to the channel, trust me, bro. I am unbiased. And the niggas I rock with, Ross222, Brian Hawkin, so on and so forth. And people that are subscribed here. We're about the truth, bro. We're about the truth.
I can't let this guy here get lucky in no way. I'm out there to rip his head off. Who's the champ? I'm the champ. This is when I work. Even when I'm tired, I have to keep working, keep pushing.
He worked tirelessly to better his skills and build endless.
Man, before I go on, I gotta say what's up to the new boxing bros I see that are coming up. No doubt, peace to Apology Man, my bro who stepped in. Peace to Curtis Anderson, my man Javi Go. You know what I'm saying? And Charlie, you stay as one. What's good, my brothers? Peace to y'all. God bless y'all. Enjoy. If you don't have any back information or any knowledge of Marvin Hagler, this is the stream for it. And if you already do, you're more than likely learning some more, or you already know. No doubt. Let's educate. Let's educate. This is why you have joined this channel, because it's been a movement that's been here for almost 10 years. It's called hashtag come back to boxing. Self-explanatory. Come back to boxing. The number 2, not the word 2, the number 2, which means you and the sport got to become one again. And the way you do that is you tell the truth and you expose the fucking corporate machine called sanctioning bodies.
Reserves of endurance.
Marvin Hagler has dubbed himself marvelous with a capital M, and he's given us no reason to think otherwise.
Chen Smoke, the Dragon, what's going on, my bro?
The isolation seems to suit Marvin. He needs it to create the kind of emotion that drives him to explosive fury.
Think about it.
Apology Man, no doubt, my brother. You know it's all love. You know it's all good in education. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys, bro. You guys are my boxing bros, for real, for real. If you have motherfuckers ever need bread across your table, you know what I'm saying, or something, let me know. I got your back. We here in life. You know what I'm saying? We're not just here for this, you know, just to, no. We share the same passion. You know what I mean? And if I can correct something, if you can ever correct something, we gotta have each other's back. Like I say, I always use this analogy. It's like if we stepping out to the club or something, right? And you got a booger on your motherfucking nose, right? Or you got the wrong shirt on, and I stop you and I say, ho, bro. First of all, wipe that green ass motherfucking troll you got in your motherfucking nostril. I can't let you walk out this door like that, son. You don't look right. Or the shirt, bro. That shirt is mad fucking loud. It's not how I say it. It's the fact that I am looking out for you, because you would do the same for me. Let's get it.
Who's the champ? I'm the champ.
So Julio Bell, who says he's got nothing but confidence, he said, as a matter of fact, yesterday when we spoke of him point blank, I am going to win this championship tonight.
Well, this is good for me because I love a man when they talk like that. It gives me more meaning of really getting in there and really tearing his head off. You know, it's like where you have to really psych yourself up, build yourself up for a fight, anything like this. This helps me to motivate me quicker.
Well, Hagler's already successfully defended the championship 5 times, and no.
Yo, I'm about to crack a joke, right? And I don't want motherfuckers to take this as racism. I don't. It's just pure fact, son. This is just pure fact. This is pure fact. You know what I'm saying? I got to run it back real fast. Hold on. This is pure fact.
Quicker.
Well, Hagler's
Dog, fellas, and I say this all the time. This is a joke, but of course, since I'm kicking facts, motherfuckers will do the leftist shit and try to derail me. But it has nothing to do with this. This is funny. This is some funny shit. Take a look at Hagler right here. Now, picture Clarissa Shields. Ah! Clarissa looked like a young Marvin Hagler, son. Motherfucker. Bro. Clarissa Shields, dog. Marvin, I love you, bro. I love you, my bro. What's up, Sanctus, the motherfucking alumni? What's going on, my brother Sanctus Deuce in the house? No doubt. Good morning to you. God bless you. Javi, apology, man. My honest opinion, GGG would stand about maybe 6-7 rounds, bro. He'd last more than Canelo. You know what I mean? Bro, that's Clarissa Shields, dog. Apology, man said, cancel the Jedi. Yo, bro, I love you guys, bro. You motherfuckers are sick. We're going to hell. Yes.
Already successfully defended the championship 5 times, and nobody's yet gone the distance with it.
Left and a right hand by Hagler. Hurt Odell there.
Bro, so far in the important fights that you've seen, and I have to do this so I won't be copywritten or they won't take the stream down. So you have to give it 10 seconds and stop. I've been giving it a little longer, and so you know what I'm saying. But every time I stop, I'm always going to come with knowledge. Trust me. I know you want to see action. I know, guys. But it's also you have to work with me here. I'm working with you. Plus, we're kicking knowledge together. If I missed anything out, if there's a fun fact, put it in, please, because I'm an adult. But I learn as I live as well. I'm not perfect. You understand what I'm saying? So if you know shit, motherfuckers know more knowledge than me, and I'm learning too. You know what I'm saying? We're all as old as we are. We still learn until the fucking grave, dog. That's how it is. Life's a lesson. But you guys got to notice in these highlights, you've been seeing Marvelous Marvin Hagler land 4 or 5 combo shots and hard too, right? With perfection. His targeting was crazy.
And Hagler's throwing good combinations. Right hand.
Oh my God. And we have just seen Jason takes Manhattan in real life. He has punched his fucking head off of his collarbones. Ladies and gentlemen, tell Irene, rest in peace.
Those uppercuts were very effective. Raise his head, and he's over. He's through, Barrett. This one is all over. And that was a smashing right hand that did it. Marvin put some beautiful combinations together.
After
What? My insurance expired. Oh, fuck, man.
rattling off a few more fast title defenses, the super fight between Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard was on everyone's mind. But Sugar Ray continued to shy away from making the fight.
I gotta make some of that money. I'm tired of people telling me how generous he is and how good friends we go. If I'm such a good friend, give me that big payday then. That's what we want. We want to show real artists and everything else out there, and I believe that it's us that can do it.
Right. Now, I'm not going to front. Sugar Ray Leonard is my favorite fighter. But here, I'm not even gonna put on the S on my chest. I'm not gonna put the cape on for him. He knew Hagler was still dangerous. He needed Hagler to go through a real tough fight before he got to him. He needed Hagler to diminish in a certain way before he got to him. He needed Hagler to be slowed down by a more fiercer opponent, and that opponent was John Mugabe. Well, the thing with Sugar Ray Leonard here is he ducked Hagler for a while. If he didn't duck him to make it a bit more comfortable, he waited him out. And that's one thing I didn't like about Sugar Ray Leonard. You can call it smart, but then when you do that, you can't wholeheartedly say that Sugar Ray Leonard actually tested himself fully. And I'm a Sugar Ray Leonard enthusiast. I love this man. But I cannot bear false witness to thy brother, bro. You know what I'm saying? Puerto Rican rum palo viejo. What's up, my brother? Welcome. God bless.
Marvin wanted to be called Marvelous. We ran up against the guy who was in charge of ABC Sports, and he said, if you want us to use the name Marvelous Marvin, go to court.
So that's what he did. Marvin had his name legally changed, forcing ABC.
My man's real name is Marvelous, dog. You think it fits him? You think it suits him? Huh? You think he hasn't worked hard enough to wear that in his life? Marvelous?
To address him as Marvelous Marvin Hagler during broadcasts.
And so what's left is to get on with it now. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Should point out, Marvelous Marvin Hagler is his given name now. He had his name legally changed.
Hagler, until a few months ago, reckoned to be 30 years old when he changed his name to Marvelous. They discovered on his birth certificate that he was really 28.
So Marvelous is very much a part of it. Bob Arum has said, in regard to the fact that he sold out this house in 24 hours, that Marvin Hagler is...
Whose name did you just hear as a promoter and sold out that venue in less than 24 hours? Bob Arum. I respect Eddie Hearn. He kept boxing alive. You know what I'm saying? And we all know what Eddie Hearn did. All the other promoters, I can't respect you. I can't. All you other fight fans who love disrespecting Bob Arum and talking shit, regardless of the fact, you have no right being mad at him if he jerked a certain fighter, because you are not the fighter, nor are you affiliated with the fighter. Your fandom to the fighter has no such foundation as to being affiliated with that fighter. Understand this, and understand this very, 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 very hard. At the same time of you understanding this, understand that you should be wearing a fucking bra. At this point in your life, if you're just counting your fighter's money all in his fucking wallet, want to be all up in the leather seating of his fucking car, want to admire and finger pop all them dirty whores that they're fucking paying for, instead of thinking and saying to yourself, this is boxing, boxing, boxing. That's what we're supposed to be looking at. Like, just like the rest of these motherfucking cheap ass, stupid motherfucking channels who either put their name first before the name boxing or other things like that, and come up on here and speak on racism and everything else, but don't speak boxing. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm world class and I only fuck with world class niggas.
Finally arrived as an American hero. He himself says, since I've been champion, Ray, I'm getting meaner.
He then set his sights to Tony Simpson.
Well, he's worked so hard to be the undisputed middleweight champion. And Hagler's a very proud champion, Barry.
Hagler very sharp early on here. Marvin Hagler not one to waste a lot of punches. Good shots from Hagler, snapped the head of Tony Simpson back. Marvin Hagler scores with an inordinate number of punches. He just does not waste a lot of punches.
Hagler delivered possibly his most complete and polished performance, befuddling Tony Simpson.
A jolting right hand, a looping right hand.
So Hagler just destroyed him, and when he was interviewed afterwards, Tony Simpson described the experience of being locked up in a cage of pain and watching Marvin Hagler throw away the key.
To say that Marvin Hagler was impressive would be to make a great understatement.
It would be an understatement. Marvin Hagler, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, he showed so much of boxing technique.
So coming up next here on HBO, the 7th title defense of the champion, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, as he takes on...
Sorry, got to pay the bill, guys. Got to pay the bills. You know how this bullshit goes. All right, let's get back to it.
Wilfred Scipion.
For 6 years, this man was whooping ass like this. Undefeated. Not one punch wasted. And today's middleweights would what to this man?
But a combination from
You guys don't want to redeem yourselves right quick? You don't want to change your mind right quick?
After making quick work of Wilfred Scipio, Hagler would do battle with the first of the four kings.
Woo!
Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran.
You can hear this crowd very much, apparently, in the corner of Roberto Duran.
Now, the guy fucked up and called them the Marvelous Four when it was really supposed to be the Fabulous Four. Let me tell you guys something about this elite class, which consisted of Hagler, Duran, Leonard, and Hearns. These guys fought each other. These guys were champions. These guys are the epitome of what boxing should be today. When I was speaking earlier about contenders making themselves great, meaning pushing themselves because you make who your fighter is, right? Like that fighter you fight, really makes who you are, depending on his stature and his pedigree. So, what's up? I'm Phil. What's going on? Stormy B man, what's going on? Welcome, guys. God bless y'all. What's going on? So gotta think about this. You sure you youngins don't want to change your mind about you claiming that these middleweights of today are better than Marvelous Marvin Hagler, dog? You sure you don't want to redeem yourself? You sure you want to change your mind? Are you sure? Because this is the stream to do it on. You know what I'm saying? The link is in the chat. Everybody say what's up to my man Brian Hawkins. Go visit his channel. Go subscribe. What's going on, Brian?
Yo, what up, Jedi? What's the cracks for you?
Just chilling, brother. Just educating and keeping the sport of boxing pure. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to let motherfuckers know exactly what it is with this fucking this grand master, who has been compared to the very minute in this fucking era. And I just want to put it to rest, sort of like nail in the coffin style, simply because guys have this big opinion that the guys of today, because I guess they just started either watching boxing or they've never seen movement coming from fighters. They've never done their homework. So when you see the movements of a great like this, and then you see the movements of title holders, not champions, title holders of today, it answers your question. These guys are nowhere near what the fuck you guys are saying against this man here.
Yeah, a lot of the guys today are nowhere near a lot of the guys back then when it comes to resume, because a lot of the top guys back then fought each other.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of the top guys fought the top contenders.
Yep.
There was there was less ducking. Promoters controlled more of the sport than fighters do today, right? And promoters knew to make the money, they'd have to make tough fights. That's right. And promoters back then give less shit about fighters' safety than they did about, win-loss record.
Right.
So fighters today, I think fighters today have more power into the trajectory of where their career goes.
Right.
I think they definitely hold more today than they did back then.
Right.
Promoters back then, if it made money, right? And you heard it earlier on in the stream, right? His first title defense, he made 15 grand?
Yeah, it's 15 grand.
Right? Name me a fighter today would even step in a fucking boxing gym for 15 grand.
Exactly.
Never mind in a fucking ring, right? He had 4 fights, 24 fights in 4 years. I heard.
Yeah.
Name me a fucking fighter doing that.
Exactly. Not only that, I want you guys to welcome Curtis Anderson and my man Tommy Temple. What's going on, gentlemen?
Hey, what up, guys?
Hey, what's up, Jedi?
What's going on, Mr. Anderson? What's going on, Tommy Temple? Long time no see, my friend. What's going on, guys, man? How you guys feeling today?
Man, I love your stream, man. Your channel is great. People don't talk boxing, man, no more. And I'm from the old school, man. But after the gentleman finished, I got some insight on Marvin Hagler. He's from my hometown. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. Before he moved to Massachusetts, along with Shakur Stevenson, I was in the gym with Shakur Stevenson ever since he was 10 years old. Elite boxing gym.
Nice.
Newark is a hotbed for boxing. Even Marvin Hagler, I still see his family members today, and we'll tell stories about Marvin Hagler. He was my first fight. My father taught me about the sport of boxing ever
Nice.
since I was 7 years old, and we used to drive down to the Spectrum and support the local fighters. Marvin fought a guy by the name of Bobby Boogaloo Watts in 1976.
Damn, hold on. You said the Spectrum Arena, dog. You
Mhm.
actually sat in the Spectrum Arena, man?
Many times, Matthew Saad Muhammad, but
Nice.
Marvin Hagler was the first fighter that my father took me live to see fight in 1976 against Watts and Willie Monroe, and
Oh, man.
it was he passed right after the Hagler Leonard fight, but he used to say, "Hey Kurt, we're going to see the bald head man tonight." That was my father's plan.
Yeah.
The Marvin Hagler. He was a huge Marvin Hagler fan, and we followed him. His family moved him to from Newark to Massachusetts because of the riots. That's when he had hair, and
Yeah.
we had boxing gyms like 8th Street Boxing Gym, and we had like 4 or 5 boxing gyms at that time. It was completely different. So, that's just a little insight at Marvin Hagler, being from Newark, New Jersey. We're proud of Marvin. Newark is a hotbed for boxers, Shakur Stevenson and
No doubt. Big up
other
to Newark.
fighters.
Big up to New Jersey, Newark, no doubt, man. And Mr. Anderson, bro, thank you for that, bro. That's yo, we got stories of the cloth right now, dog. The cloth. We all know what we speak of when we say the cloth, bro. You young guys can't that shall not leave thy tongue, that word, cloth. Because you guys don't know what we're talking about when we speak of fighters being made from the same cloth. It's a cloth that was made from before the foundation, adding on to that foundation and keeping that foundation strong. I understand you young guys are just getting into the game, but your mind on the game is not set like Marvelous Marvin. I mean, for Christ's sake, guys, we just found out that this man used to fly to the location where the Shining Hotel, where they filmed The Shining, was, and it was abandoned. He used to sleep in there and train, isolate himself and train in there, dog. What? I mean, what fighters of today can actually, do you know, they actually hit? I mean, look, not even Wilder, who was supposed to be elite, and it was just found out because it was exposed. He never hit the bag, the speed bag. He never did it. Most of these fighters don't even do that. They only do that like maybe into the 3 months before the fight or the 2.5 months, but they're not consistent like Mayweather, who was a gym rat, or anyone else who stays in physical condition and trying to peak their game and add on to their pedigree. Bro, this is a beast. None of these guys today in the middleweight division, and we can't say, oh, come on, it's not their fault. No bullshit, because it goes back to the theory, which is fucking gospel, which what I said. If you guys call these guys cab drivers, you got to understand, at least these cab drivers went to work and made themselves great. What we have today are fucking Walmart kicking and screaming in the aisle as kids, complaining for more money instead of saying, yo, you're not giving me the proper fights. See, you got to understand. This is why I say take Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler. This is why they're so successful. Their work ethic in that ring and their fight selection is exactly what made them, not the money, not their business ventures, not the cars they're driving, not the Twitters or the twatters that they're sending to each other. This is all a joke today. But the times have changed. Once again, here's the gospel, which is my theory, which is true. If baseball is baseball, if basketball is still basketball, right? If football is still football, why isn't boxing still boxing? We cannot say corruption, because corruption is still there, and corruption is in every sport. We cannot, you know what it is? You know what it is? Yeah, it's greed, but it's the fighter's greed. Look at these great fights that are being held up because we're going to talk to this guy and get more money. We're going to do this. Bro, we don't need to know this. Negotiate, do your thing, and just announce the contract signing, announce that you made the weight, let us know that anybody tests negative or positive, and we're good. Touch gloves and let's get it on. Here's my money. Bring me my fucking boxing.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. There's nothing complicated. Yeah, there's business, but the blockages usually come from price outs and other fighters wanting more money. Let's be real here. Boxing is being held up by greed, not corruption.
Yep. And I want to ask the panel, right? And right, does anybody think in the ring boxing has changed over the last 120 years, or do you think it has evolved? Because I don't think style wise it has evolved.
Well, let me go. Let me to this, and then I'll name who I'll name who goes next. Let me just get this out the way real fast. That's a great question, Brian. The way I see it, it's the competitiveness, the level of competitiveness. It's died. What's up, the first lady of boxing talk, Lisa Bales? What's up, sister? What's up,
Lisa
Wizard
Bales.
Steve? You know what I mean? Like it's just a competitive level. These guys aren't dedicated to the sport. They're dedicated and they're in love and they're totally focused on the money, the payout, the payout. That's what they're worried about. And if it was going to evolve, we should have seen much more higher punch rates as to more punch accuracy, less fucking concussive fucking headbutts and cuts over eyes or for poor footwork and fucking bad fucking punches landed and shit, improper punching, right? These guys would fucking perfect themselves. The only time the other guys, which is the gold and silver, the only way these guys broke their hands wasn't improper punches because they were punching each other to the fucking T. These guys break their hands because of improper punching. Oh, yeah, I threw a punch and I landed it wrong. Right, because all you do is train 2.5 months into the fight. You don't train what? As soon as you get off the other fight, a month after, you don't keep your body, you don't hone into your skills after that. A lot of these guys, a lot of them, even the guys you love, don't do that. There's only certain guys that do this. Hold on, I didn't say hello to someone on the panel. I'm so sorry, bro. What's going on, Stormy B man? How you doing? Welcome, my brother. You know, so Tommy, let us know how you on Brian's question.
Yeah, I do think it's evolved because you can remember if you go back far enough, they weren't even using gloves, were they?
Right, exactly. From what we know,
I'm on about the market Barry. I'm on about the style wise. Has it evolved or has it gotten worse? Because for me, fighting boxing is boxing. You know, when you step into a ring, or when you step into a gym, you learn the basics. You learn your jabs, you learn your 1-2, you learn your stance. You learn sort of movement.
You learn your tools,
yeah. And as you go on, you learn more and you learn more and you learn more. Right? For me, boxing's always been the same. But technically wise, like I hate this idea that boxing has evolved, to the point where it's like for 20, 30 years ago, it is different styles. It's different. It's better. It's not for me.
And if we're gonna talk about training, okay, the training methods have evolved. Now they use full cryogenic tanks and shit like that, and fucking supplements and stuff. Okay, but at the same time, that question still lingers because it's not answered. Just like a lot of these motherfucking questions about these resumes and why fights haven't been going on. Where is it? If it has evolved and all this high-tech training, where is it? Because when we first saw Evander Holyfield use that high-tech training that he was using, he showed that. He showed that all of his high-tech training that he was doing, that high advanced training that he brought into boxing, where you had the shit on the walls and it was had a lot of resistance bands and shit like that. Holyfield showed that. These guys are showing all these cryogenic chips. They're not showing anything. They're fighting once a fucking year. They're fighting nobodies that once a year. What the fuck's going on? This is what me and Brian and everybody else is talking about. Mr. Anderson.
Guys. Yes, indeed. I wanted. Somebody got something in the background.
Hey, what's going on, Stormy B? How you doing, my brother?
Yo, what's up, man?
I wanted to say this, Jedi and panel. Yeah. Matter of fact, me and Stormy has a channel together called The Three Wise Men of Boxing. Me, Scrapbook, and Stormy. We come on Thursday nights. We talk about the history of the fights.
Nice.
This week, Thursday, tomorrow, we're doing the anniversary of Cassius Clay and Sonny Liston. I mean, we'll talk about Harry Greb. We'll talk about the great Benny Leonard. One of my favorite fighters, Gene Tunney. His footwork was unbelievable. Billy Conn was beating the heck out of Joe Louis.
Bro, we got to get a stream on Sadler, bro.
Oh, definitely. Anytime, man. I like your content. I like your channel. I like your mindset.
Thank you, brother.
You don't see streams like this, man. When I picked up my phone by mistake and I saw, you was doing Hagler, I had to get on, man. But people don't really know boxing. They see boxing, but they don't know it.
Right.
You know, I've been involved with the sport for 47 years. I fought, I trained fighters, but it's not really that. It's they don't understand, or I don't know what it is, Jedi. They don't want to understand. Boxing started way back in the 1600s, and I study all fighters, man. I got 12,000 fights in my collection, and I
Nice.
study everybody. I love Benny Leonard, great fighter, man. Henry Armstrong.
Yeah.
The fighters of yesterday are a lot better than fighters of today. They don't have the footwork like a Willie Pastrana. Willie Pastrana was an Italian fighter. Who they call him the dancing master, who gave Ali pointers on how to move around the ring because they were stablemates under the tutelage of Angelo Dundee. The
Right.
trainers are not the same. Eddie
Right.
Futch, Ray Arcel, Nacho
Stewart.
Berenstain,
Stewart.
Emmanuel Stewart, Harry Wiley Sr., who taught Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Henry
D'Amato.
Armstrong, and Joe Louis. Everything. They're not the same. Boxing is not the same, man. And you know, I come from that cloth with Bert Sugar and Art Rush Jr., hardcore boxing historians, man. And you know, it's sad to see, like you said, Jedi. They fight once a year. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna pass the mic. I don't want to be too long. I gotta get off, make some phone calls. But I'm gonna say this real quick. Guys who doesn't have a lot of talent, but had characters of men. Like Jake LaMotta will beat the hell out of Charlo. You know why?
Hell
Not
yeah.
because he's a better fighter. He would chase Charlo out the ring on heart alone.
Yep.
Think about that. Jake LaMotta was a alpha male. Carmen Basilio, alpha male. Carl Boba Olsen. These guys wouldn't keep up with those old guys, man. They was you can strike a match right on their face. It won't even bother them.
Word. Yeah, yo, these guys were calloused to the bone, son. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, people don't understand. Oh, Mike Tyson was never the same when he came back. Of course, you know why? Because those 4 years was like taking 8 years away from that fighter. And at the same time, when your body is calloused, getting hit with that leather, son, and you come back, it ain't the same as sparring at that time. You see? So when you come back and your body for the first time gets that fucking concussive shot coming from that leather, son, not only does it sting, it fucking hurt. It feels like a wrecking ball behind like 50 whips, bro. Like, when you get stunned like that, your body's not callous like that, bro. There's a time that, you know, you say, yo, I used to love this shit. I don't anymore. What the fuck just hit me, bro? No matter how skilled you are when you take time off like that. Just wanted to get that out there. What's up, Tony Boswell? You know, let's see. Oh shit, my man dropped off. Okay. Can
I ask a quick question though?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
How I know it's an old fight, but how did everybody see the Sugar Ray Hagler fight? How did they score? I'm not asking for a scorecard. I'm just asking who they thought won.
I think Sugar Ray Leonard won simply because of the staccato spurts in every at the 30-second mark of every round.
Yeah.
His scoring system, right? He left that to the judges because he knew that he was gonna have to outpoint them. There's no way that Sugar Ray Leonard had the power to knock Hagler out. So he had to make something up. Him and his brother made something up that at the end of at the 30-second mark of every round, his brother would scream out 30 seconds, and he would come with the staccato spurts and boop, bop, 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 boop, bop, 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 bop. If you notice that he did that, that's why he beat Hagler. And Hagler was so upset at that. At first, he thought it was the judges robbing him, but he thought about it, and he saw that so many times. He goes, how could I have taken my foot off the gas like this?
Yeah.
Well, he messed up in the first 2 rounds by going orthodox, didn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
He did. Yeah. He started that fight slow. He picked up, but yeah. You see, I think Sugar Ray Leonard had an internal clock. 30 seconds. This guy's gonna come in at me. He's gonna be in the firing range, and I just gotta let my hands go. And he did that. He did that pretty much every single round. And he took rounds away from Hagler where Hagler was winning.
Yep.
Up to that point. So yeah, and when Sugar Ray did that, I wasn't alive when that fight happened. Gotta admit, I'm 38 years old, so
only a puppy.
Yeah, I'm only at that point. I'm only a puppy, right? I wasn't alive when that fight happened, but right, watching back on that, I remember going, "That's a great game plan from Sugar Ray."
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You
He's
know what I
prime.
mean? Like, that was a great game plan.
It was a good strategy, man. Mr. Anderson, anything on this classic fucking fight, bro? This beautiful golden fight.
Oh yeah, I remember like it was yesterday. I said to myself, and everybody thought I was crazy. I used to go to Lou Duva had a boxing bar right down the street in Totowa, New Jersey, and I said that Leonard was going to beat Hagler. The reason I thought because Leonard personality, people don't understand. I said if Leonard was standing at the end of the 12th round, that they was going to give him the fight. I had it 115, 113, and you were spot on when you said about the last 30 seconds. It was a plan that they had. They stole that fight for Marvin. Leonard got the ring size, the gloves, everything. You got to remember this too. Before the Hagler fight, and I had him on my panel, Mark Two Sharp Johnson, Quincy Taylor was a fighter that Ray took under his wing for a little while. He knocked Ray out in sparring. He even admitted on the show there was rumors about Ray getting knocked out by this guy named Quincy Taylor, and he admitted last week. He said, "Yeah, I did stop Ray in sparring," and he was a southpaw. So Marvin made a mistake by fighting orthodox instead of southpaw. It would have been a different story. But Ray was smart because he waited for Marvin to get old. Remember the announcement when he said a fight that worth more than Fort Knox, but unfortunately it will never happen. He waited Marvin out because being being a commentator for HBO, Marvin was fighting there on a regular basis. He's like, nope, he's still dangerous. I gotta wait him out.
Yep.
That Hearns fight and that Mugabe fight took a lot out of Marvin.
Yes, it did.
A lot out of Marvin. And Ray with the bolo punch and sticking his face out. See, all that mattered because that was always the shtick. That was always part of his personality. And fighters got to remember when you fight a Muhammad Ali or Sugar Ray Leonard, they're blue chippers. They were iconic figures. And I saw Norton beat Ali at Yankee Stadium, and they gave it to Ali where he lost that fight. And I seen Leonard. Leonard won, but it was more of his personality and the personality than anything. You had stars, that was on TV saying, "Let's go, Ray." So, Marvin was against it and he lost.
And at the same time, when you're at such a high stature like that, and you're showing the judges and the crowd that you're comfortable and you're doing all that, sticking your head out and doing the bolo punch so comfortably without showing any type of signs of being in fear of that dangerous punch's power, that it's very impressive. What's up, Stormy B? You have anything to say on this fight, my brother?
Yo, man, thanks for having me on. I'm sorry I was having some technical problems.
It's all good, my brother.
I switched over to my phone. So
I
want to say, first of all, salute to you, Boxing Jedi, man. You were talking about some good stuff. My man Curtis hit me up and said, "Hey, you got to check this out." So I tuned in, and I really like what you were saying and breaking down with marvelous Marvin Hagler's career and his abilities and his accomplishments are a standard bearer to be measured against. And if these guys of today think that they have anything going as close, they better get back in the gym and get back down to the basics and go back and do homework, man, because there is a wide divide between what men like he did in their careers and what the guys are getting away with today. So when you said the things that you were saying, I was sitting over here like throwing my fist up in the air like, that's right, tell them. Because, Kurt, like he said, and salute to everybody else on the panel as well. But as Kurt was saying, like on our show, this is exactly the type of thing that we speak about. And we hold people accountable because we know history. And when you see what has transpired in history, there's a certain status quo that things have been set. A bar has been set. So you have to respect that. with the guys, who have accomplished things in the past. When we didn't have social media, when we didn't always have cameras to capture everything, and we only could live vicariously through the stories being told. But that's another reason why I say it takes a village to raise a child, because it is those who have lived and been here, seniors, so to speak, who can pass on the knowledge to those coming up, to let them know what the divide is and how to close that gap. And you close that gap by going to work, rolling up your sleeves, getting your fist in the mud,
you
and
hear that,
getting
youngin?
down and dirty with it.
That's right. That's right. Gain a worth ethic, bro. That shit. Let's send the facts. Let's send the facts.
Someone got a fax coming through?
For youngins,
I hope all you youngins. Yep. Say it, Brian. Say it.
For youngins on the panel, that's a dial tone.
That's
you ain't
right.
used to that shit.
That's right. That's a fax machine. So my man Stormy B, Curtis Anderson, my man Brian and Tommy Temple are spinning nothing but facts, bro. Nothing but facts, bro. And I'm 47 years old. I've been watching it for a long time. Everybody has, and even the young guys that are studying and have the respect for the foundation. Yo, you guys are down with us too. It's the cocky ones. It's the ones that are out here, fanboying out and just don't want to understand and they want to, say that Marvin. This is why I got on here, because I was so irked about almost everywhere I go. I keep hearing GGG beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler. The Charlos, both of them, if he moved up or down, he would get beat. And I'm like, no, they would not, bro. There's no way in hell that these guys would even survive the first jab coming from Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Are you kidding me? These guys don't have their muscle reflexes, even the muscle memory trained to be spot on, to even go past the third round with a man who goes to the fucking Shining Hotel, bro, and fucking, come on, bro. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm. I actually thought that Hagler just outpointed Sugar Ray in that fight. Because see, when Sugar Ray was throwing his combinations in the last 30 seconds, half the time, or I'm generalizing, but half the time he was missing his shots. But it looked flashy and it caught people's eyes subliminally,
Yeah, ring generalship. He showed that, the comfortability, not being scared to be in front of the power, the power puncher, being evasive in front of the power puncher, just standing there. See, when they look for the evasive guy to just stand there and keep being evasive, but staying there like Ray Leonard did, and then using the ring at times when he needed to, because that's one thing, only guys that were biased would say Ray ran that fight. He didn't run that fight at all. He didn't run from him at all. There are spots in there that, matter of fact, most of the fight was in the middle of the ring, and if it was near the ropes, Sugar Ray Leonard's back was on the fucking ropes. He would allow Hagler to go to tire himself out, to turn him, and to move away, throwing combinations as he moved back, bro, fighting backwards. Like, that was a masterful plan. But Hagler messed up by starting off orthodox and at the same time, taking his foot off the gas. These are the two mistakes that he made.
Yeah.
But we can't take nothing away from him, and he can't be compared to any of these middleweights of today, because he is a champion. These guys are just title holders, man. No disrespect to nobody, but you guys are just holding those titles, man.
Does anybody think that Sugar Ray should have given them a rematch? An immediate rematch, pretty much.
Actually, yeah. You know why? Because because after the fact, he got in there with Norris. He got in there with Camacho, right? With Hearns again. Why not? Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That was his last fight, wasn't it?
Well,
yeah, yep.
Hagler's, yeah, that was
Hagler's
last fight. So.
Was it? Did he not have one more after that? No,
no,
that was it.
That was
okay. My bad.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure, but
Yeah, he moved to Italy, started making movies, and he's very popular in Italy right now. He got married over there, and he just dropped everything, and he was disgusted. But he had to put some of the blame on himself. He gave Ray too much respect, but Ray knew he couldn't win the rematch. Marvin was going to sell out in the second fight and get Ray out of there. Ray knew he caught Marvin at the right time. Like Jedi said, he waited him out.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this discussion, especially older fighters, older generation versus this generation, because it's not even close.
Bro,
Right? 48 fights before he got a title shot.
Right.
What age was he
Fucking
when he
hell.
changed his name?
He was like 30. He was like 30.
Yeah,
Oh, he's quite late on then.
Yeah, because I mean, he didn't get any title shots until he was like what in his 45th fight, bro. I mean, damn, son. Like see, this is why I don't respect anybody from that side that's screaming the skin politics and stuff, because when it mattered then, nobody, not even him who had a right to kick and scream about it, never did, bro. He mentioned it, but he never weaponized it. These guys are weaponizing bullshit. They're weaponizing bullshit instead of being proud and saying, bro, the face of the middleweight division is Marvelous Marvin Hagler, a black man. If that's their case, if this is their logic, if this is what they're kicking and screaming about, you have so many black Americans, bro, that can be the face of boxing. As a matter of fact, the majority of boxing was held down and represented, okay, and graduated and given to us and perfected by black Americans and Latinos, bro. Let's think about this. England fighters as well. It's very deep, bro. The roots. This is why I am mad at the WBC, because you fucking hypocrites are holding a title that has every flag to every nation, to every country in front of there. You say that that's a unification of all ethnicities and races, but yet look at what you do. You allow motherfuckers to placate the skin politics. You know, you allow motherfuckers to call people racist when this is all fabricated, man. It's all a big distraction because what they want is to make a serial face fighter. You can tell. They've done this with so many fucking fighters. They tried with Danny Garcia, failed. Adrian Broner keeps failing. I mean, let's keep going. Let's keep going down the fucking line. This is why they made a franchise belt. Think about it. Think about it. They make a franchise belt because they want you to be on that cereal box. You know what I mean? But whatever happened to Wheaties? Whatever happened to all of that? Exactly. They pushed endorsements away because they don't want nobody to do what the greats did, which was speak for themselves, stand up for themselves, and make their fight selections what they want. I'm not doubting any of these young cats want to fight, because I could tell that Canelo wanted to fight GGG when GGG wanted to fight him. But it was Oscar De La Hoya that got in the fucking middle with this marination shit. Those are facts. I'm taking nothing. I'm taking nothing away from Canelo. He really wanted to fight him, but he had to follow his fucking how do you call those? His keeper. So, hey, you know what? If you guys want to believe that it's only the promotions that make these fights and the fighters don't have a say so, you go ahead and do that. Because the last time I checked, it is the fighter, right, that tells the promoter make that fight. So all these fights that you're seeing now, it's not happening. As a matter of fact, what I'm saying is coming. It's such a fact that you've got Tiafimo asking for more money. Then you got Arum talking about, we're in a fucking pandemic. You expect me to throw all this fucking money on the table and I'm only going to make half that fight. And then I got a super fight coming with Fury and fucking Wilder. I got to save for that because I'm not going to be able to generate, right? He told Eddie Hearn the same thing, but in different words. That would be a big mistake if you did that. Oh, he threatened him. He put the Fury fight. No, it's Eddie Hearn that's putting that fight into jeopardy because there's not enough money being generated. So if Eddie Hearns goes ahead and puts mad money on this Tiafimo whatever fucking fight, have Devin Haney fight, right? And actually gives Tio 10 and then puts the fucking fight in jeopardy with the heavyweight unification bout, whose fault is it? After Arum just told him that would be a big mistake on your behalf. It would be a big mistake on his behalf because you're in this pandemic, you have no venues. You're only going to get pay-per-view money from fucking apps. You guys have totally fucked up the endorsement deals, right? So where are you generating this fucking money? This is exactly why the Crawford Pacquiao is in hesitation and the rest of these fucking fights, because it's not only because of these guys aren't thinking. So if you guys are really calling for, this is why I say call for more fights, not just one. Because the moment you do that, you got guys like Eddie Hearn that's, and I'm happy he's doing it. He's giving us fan service. He's making the fights that we say we want, and he's doing it. But then that's a mistake in the other hand now, because now you're not mentioning the other fights, the other potential fights. So you're not broadening their horizons as to, wow, hold up. their money, this money that I have, there are other fights out there. This year just started. I'm only gonna, if I promote these 2 fights, I'm only gonna make back 1 fight's worth when I'm supposed to be making back 3, because you're supposed to be doing that, at least 4. You're supposed to make double of what you're doing. These guys aren't gonna do it, and Arum knows this. And just because Arum told fucking Hearn that would be a big mistake on your behalf, y'all gotta lift the veil. There are more messages within a message that you have to actually like look at. And what he told, that's promoter talk. That would be a big mistake on your behalf. He said right away in his mind, Eddie Hearn, because if I do this, I'm not going to have enough. I might come up short for the next fight. Wow. And I am promoting hella fights down here in UK. Shit. Wow. Right? So who's the bad guy here? Exactly. And I'm not trying to paint nobody or put anybody in the bad guy suit. But when it comes to shit like this, it's really your fighters that are fucking around here.
Okay, but let me ask you a question then.
Yeah.
Before you become champion, you fight more. But once you become champion, you fight maybe once a year, or on average, maybe less, maybe more, right?
Right.
What's the limits that a fighter can fight number of times per year and expect to get paid respectfully, if you know what I'm trying to say? There's got to be a limit to it.
Well, I see it like this. Let's take Mike Tyson, for instance, right? Before he had the title, he was fighting like 35 fucking times a year and shit. Like, remember that? He was doing that on the come up. And then after that, it started, lessening 10 fights a year, then 6 fights a year, then 4, right? Then when he became champion, he was fighting at least 3 times or 2 times a year. Now, when you build yourself up fighting all of that, and once you take the foot off the gas as to your fight selection, and you're not fighting 10 times, 6 times, 8 times, and you're only giving us 3 to 2 fights a year, you've worked your way towards that simply because of what you've built yourself up with, with your work ethic. So you've already drawn us in, and we know what's to expect. We know what's to come. These guys are not doing that. These guys these days are just saying, and we're supposed to take their word that's born. Okay, you're a great, you're a GOAT. And then when they come in, it's lackluster. Everybody's upset. Motherfuckers are asking if they can ask for refunds. We never had that in our era. We never had that in the era before that. We never had, you know what I'm saying? We never even had that in the Pacquiao, Barrera, Marquez, Mayweather era. We never had that in the Martinez, motherfucking, we never had that there. Then we were satisfied. Oh, shit. That was like I was talking about knockout rates. Back then, till it hit like 20 before 2012, the percentage of knockout rates within a fight happening were at least 85 to 90%. Now it's about 65 to 75%. It's mostly decisions. Am I wrong?
No.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Think about it. So what's up, Johnny Young? What's up, Truth Son? So you got to understand, when you take a look at the playing field here, and they talking about, I'll fight this guy, but you got to give me 10 mil. After you said, I'm going to be a fighting champion, well, damn, son. Now we're looking at you sideways because you forgot to mention that part. You forgot to mention the part that you're going to use the prize fighter in you to build a legacy. Had we known that shit, we would never fucked with y'all. That's why we leave y'all in the middle of your, like Teofimo, a lot of his fans are going to wind up leaving him because they thinking that he's out here. Yeah, he fights hard. But you got to continue to fight hard. Don't be that money dude, bro. That money will come with your work ethic.
May I add something to that, please?
Go ahead, brother.
Check this out. And you mentioned a couple of great names regarding that, especially with what's happening recently with Teofimo. Now, Tank Davis, in his last performance against Leo Santa Cruz, was a spectacular performance for him. Great results. There was a lot of fire around that. The fact that the fight was favored for Tank going in, it was like people still wanted to see the fight. They felt that was like 2 names in the sport coming together, which is what you like to see. But check this out. There was a hedge on the bet for Tank being successful because he's been known more for his out of the ring antics, right? Being out of shape, being always on social media, not necessarily being in the gym, practicing and getting ready for fights and fighting frequently.
He's scared of the scale. He's scared of that scale, kid.
Yeah. So check this out. The consensus was like, oh, is he going to be able to make the weight? One second.
Yeah. Can I say something about that? Why? Huh?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, yeah, right. I just want to say, right, with the Tank Davis, as soon as I heard the Tank Davis Leo Santa Cruz fight, I was on every freaking panel saying fifth round knockout to Tank Davis. My interest was this guy, as soon as he lands clean, right? Because we know Leo Santa Cruz fought 122, 126, and 130, right? So basically, he was a bantamweight. Moving up. Right, my thought in it was, yeah, Tank's too big for him, he's too strong for him. On the scales the night before, I got to admit, Leo Santa Cruz looked great, but that still didn't. I was on everybody's freaking panel saying fifth round knockout, fifth, that, and it happened in the sixth,
Yeah.
So, but from day one, I think I was on Johnny Boy's when I first heard the fight was happening.
Yeah.
After it just was announced, Johnny Boy did a live stream.
Yeah.
And I was typing in the comments, fifth round knockout.
Mm.
Like I had no interest in that fight. I pretty much knew how that fight was going to go.
Yeah.
So
you knew it. Yeah,
even though it was two big names, I thought it was a mismatch.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so.
no, I agree too, man. He wasn't supposed to be fighting that dude, man. Stormy B, you want to come back on and finish what you were saying, my brother?
Yeah, I apologize for that, guys. Yeah,
That's okay.
so Tank going into the fight, the hedge was, will he be able to make the weight, right? That was the thing, because he had been out of shape and everything. So he comes in, he's very successful in a spectacular win, and then he goes back on the shelf. You see, that's the thing that prevents me from getting behind these guys and supporting. I had said that Tank needed to be back in the ring within 60 days because that training camp that he had was a fat camp. It was about him getting in shape, trying to make the weight for the fight. It wasn't about him being in shape. Remember, if you string your fights together, by the time you have 3 or 4, you're in shape then. Your timing is there. You're ready to go. You spoke about Mike Tyson in his early part of his career before becoming champion and how frequent he fought and then how he pulled it back after becoming champion. But the thing about that is the old guys used to fight like that even when they were champion.
Right.
Okay. And remember, once you're in shape, your timing is there. I just did a show on timing and rhythm. Once you're in shape, your timing is there. Your ability to think sharp, your body being able to respond to everything you needed to do. Okay. And you don't have to do as much sparring in your training. You can do your conditioning because you're sharp. You understand? And see, that's what these guys don't get today. And these guys of today are beating each other up in the gym because they're not in shape, first of all. So their bodies can't respond properly. And they're taking damage and trauma. You see, you don't take damage and trauma when you're in condition because you're built to do what you need to do.
Exactly.
Not spending so much time trying to become what you want to be able to do. And that's what they don't understand.
Right.
And then they holler about, like you said, they holler about, oh, pay me $10 million. Are you kidding me?
Right. Exactly, bro. Exactly.
So that's the point that I wanted to make on that.
Shit, that shit is as sharp as Excalibur, brother. Thank you for that, bro. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. And it's not because I'm in agreement. It's because it's facts. It is a fact. What this man has just said right now, man. What Mr. Stormy B has just kicked. What Mr. Anderson, Mr. Temper, Mr. Bryan, and anybody else who has ever been on this panel. This is all we do, bro. We dissect this shit, showing you guys, bro. Stop pom-pomming. Stop it. Stop pom-pomming. Turn those pom-poms back into fucking signs, bro. Fan signs, not fanatical fucking pom-pom waving to a point where you're going to fucking look stupid and make us believe you're stupid enough to actually go with this agenda that these guys are fucking kicking out here as to Canelo being the best Mexican fighter ever and all that other fucking Looney Tune crap. You got to lift that veil, bro. You got to lift that veil. You know what I mean? And if you don't come from our era, if you haven't seen adversity the way we have seen, if you haven't seen fighters graduate in that fucking ring, fuck out of ring, in that fucking ring, We've seen death. We've seen trials, and not recorded either. Shit happened on closed circuit TV, which was our pay-per-view, but we had to go to fucking theaters and bars in order to watch it before that. Then when fucking KOPPV came out and shit, HBO Sports, right? All that shit came out way before, like way after Wild World of Sports and shit, where we used to watch boxing for free. Heyman ain't do nothing fucking brand new. He just brought boxing back for free. And you guys didn't know about this if you didn't study the sport. And oh wow, free boxing on TV. The shit was already done. See, this is why we tell y'all. Mr. Anderson said it, and so did everyone else on this panel. We have been here before you. We have seen these things. We have seen graduation where fighters have been under all types of adversities in that ring, baptisms under fires, right? Deaths. You guys just saw the first devastating knockout when Marquez fucking knocked out Pacquiao and he wasn't responsive. That's the first time you casuals of today have ever seen a devastating knockout like that. Meanwhile, we already seen Ruben motherfucking Hurricane do it. We've already seen motherfucking the greatest fucking defensive fighter to me, the grandfather of the Philly Shell, to me, which is, you know what I'm saying, George Benton. We've already seen that. We've seen guys that look like they got hit so hard, they look like they got sniped from the Bob Uecker seat by a sniper, that these motherfuckers are laying on their back and still jabbing while unconscious. You guys just started seeing devastating knockouts, calling mediocre knockouts of the fucking year. We've seen motherfuckers head down, ass up, quivering, eyes rolled back, looking like they're the Exorcist. Motherfuckers getting punched out the fucking ring. You guys just saw that when Joe Smith did it to motherfucking Bernard Hopkins. Come on. Who are you kidding here? Who are you kidding here? It is time that guys like us seniors, take our crown and our fucking thrones. Because now, like I predicted years ago when I first started here, 9 years ago in front of this fucking camera, the vow I made, I said it was come back to boxing. You and the sport need to become one again. This is what this shit is. This is who I am. This is who we are. And this is what it will always fucking be. We don't care about agendas. We don't care about color, creed, religion. We care about the sport. We don't care about a face of boxing because you stupid son of a bitches talk about unison, but you don't know like we do on this panel and everyone that I'm affiliated with here in these YouTube fucking streets that boxing is everyone's face. What is it that you guys aren't understanding? If you want to placate, if you want to agendicize yourself, yes, I made another word. If you want to put yourself on the fucking agendas and say, well, it's about color, and listen to Mayweather, who's a master. Once again, I'm going to say it. Who's a master at selling his fights when he comes out and says, there's not a black fucking face in the NBA because they gave a Chinese man a fucking prop because he just got there and he achieved. All of a sudden, to sell this packet and keep relevant, you go to and you switch to this fucking racist shit. This is what I mean. These things are not part of boxing. They never was, never will be. Even if you try every day and waste everyone's fucking time and try to poison motherfucker, you only get in a pool of 100, you'll only poison 35. Pretty good fucking number, but you're still outnumbered. And what's funny is your numbers won't grow. They'll grow temporarily, but not permanently like ours. Because once they see the truth coming from us, they come over here and the baptism begins. And what happens after that? More hate, which is really love. You know why? Because it's filtered out from us. All the trolls, all our haters, we love you. We don't respect you, but we love you. You know why? You know why we love you? Because you keep us relevant. Every motherfucker who has made videos on me, anybody on this panel, anybody who's telling the truth, it is you guys who are frustrated, mad, and upset that you don't educate yourself. You have no education. You have boxing envy, okay? Boxing envy to the point from education to your fighter, all right? All you Wilder fucking fanatics, not the real fans who have admitted that he's a fuck up. All you fucking fanatics, you guys have to come to the conclusion, that your man was a fucking phony. He talked more than he fought. And if he fucking fought as good as he talked, he would have been fucking somewhere to where you're putting him up on, where he put himself up on. This is why I say any fucking fighter out there, if you're putting yourself up to a higher standard, when we hold you up to that standard and you knock yourself down and we're like, but what happened? Don't fucking complain. Don't bitch. Don't come up with fucking insults like you've never been in the fucking ring, because most of us have. This is why we speak it. We motherfuckers who speak like me or even better than me, historians, have surrounded themselves around boxing, you stupid motherfuckers. What is it you don't understand here? We've been watching boxing before most of you motherfuckers put the gloves on, and I'm speaking to you fighters like I do every fucking day. There's times that we put on fucking gloves and competed, not professionally, but at least we've competed. We know what it is to be on the other side of a fucking ball and chain coming from a human being called a punch. We know what it is. So how the fuck is it that you don't know how to take constructive criticism from Teofimo fucking Senior all the way to fucking Mayweather fucking Senior, all the way down to fathers who are just calling out the money but aren't calling the real fights and taking the sacrifice, knowing that us fucking fight fans are what keep you afloat. And especially in a pandemic like this, you dare ask for 40 million, you dare ask for 10 million, even over 5 million, knowing that we can't afford this. So now you're holding us up. No, fuck you. Just like we told all the players in the lockouts from NBA to the Major League Baseball. Remember that lockout? They fucked up on us. What's going to happen here is the fans are going to walk out on you. It's already happening. It's already happening. So now when you have channels like the gentlemen have on this panel, and we kick lives and we give you nothing but treasures, well, God damn it, if you're not taking it as a treasure, someone who is worth more than you as to absorbing knowledge and knowing what to do with these fucking careers of the legends that they left us so we can study and pass on, because we are their sons. They are our fathers of the rings, bro. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. We are the sons of these fucking fighters, and it is our duty to pass on those legacies. And if you're going to come on here or any other panel, and if I catch any of you fucking little newborn baby motherfucking midgets on here or anybody else's disrespecting any other greats like you have with Marvelous Marvin Hagler, talk about Charlo, the Grace Jones sisters, or fuck him up. They're not even trained to a level to get past this motherfucker's jab. And these are fucking facts. So I'm just going to pass the mic. Anybody on the panel have anything to say? Let's do it.
Yeah, I just want to say I got to make a couple of calls. I'm running a business. Hey, Jedi, man, I love your content, bro. It's pure boxing talk, and everybody on the panel, Stormy, everybody. I love talking boxing. That's all. I'm listen. If you cut me open, boxing gloves will fall out of me, man. As much as I love, seriously, as much as I love my Steelers and my Yankees and my New Jersey Devils, I'm a sports fanatic. Boxing is my specialty. I'm a huge soccer fan, hockey, everything. I live for that. But boxing is number one. I mean, 47 years, man, and I love this sport, but you know, I don't like the direction that's gone the fighters, but we could complain all day and night, but that's why to get my fix, I study the old fighters, and it helps my appetite, man. It curbs my appetite when I study the old fighters. You can go to Iron Bar Boxing on YouTube. I don't know who this guy is, but he upload fights every day. He got thousands of fights, man. It's a dream.
You know who else does this shit too, bro? That they drop fights. There's two channels: the Hall of Fame of Boxing and Sweet Fights.
Sweet Fights is good. I got to go to Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, bro. Woo, Hall of Fame, boy, bro. I was watching Reuben Carter versus George Benton 1 and 2, dog. On that channel.
Great fight. Woo.
Yeah.
Woo, great fight, man. But hey, man, I love all you guys, man. Keep doing what you're doing, Jedi, man. And I'll talk to you, Stormy, man. And I'll be listening.
No doubt, brother.
Peace out, everybody. Enjoy your day, everybody.
No doubt, man. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Peace out,
Kurt. No doubt, man.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Mr. Stormy B, you have anything to say, brother? And plug your channel too. Everybody go check out Mr. Anderson's channel, no doubt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks again, man. Boxing Jedi. You found a new subscriber in myself here, man. I was not aware of your channel, and Kurt was the one that put me on to it. Just like he says, you know, he and I, we're the same age. He and I in Scrapbook, we kind of like birds of a feather because we're of that ilk, just like yourself. where we really see the sport and we see through the sport, we see all the way back through it, forward and future, you know.
Yes, sir.
The thing about the content that I produce is pure. You know what I mean? And all you have to do is check in and tune in to NLV and you hear me talking about boxing. And I talk from a coach's standpoint because I've worked as a coach here out of Chicago. I'm in the shop and I've worked in the gyms. I've worked with amateurs and pros. So, and I know a lot of people. So it's like my perspective is from more of that coaching aspect.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I bring in. And I have that mindset. I always did, even from the time I was a kid.
Yep.
When I walked into the gym, when my dad took me in, the first professional fighter that I met was James Quick Tillis. And he was a young contender at that time in the Woodlawn Boys Club here in the Chi. He was back there in the gym hitting the bag. And I just looked at him and I was staring like he was some kind of God warrior, because that was when he was young. He hadn't lost any fights yet. He was moving light on his feet like Ali. He was hitting that bag and he had muscles. And I was like, look at this guy. And I was like a 7-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying? But to bring it on home, I just want to say what you're doing is great. Everybody that's out there listening to this, you should definitely keep your ear to the ground when you're hearing the earnest boxing talk, because there's a lot of deception out here about the sport. But when you have veteran people who can speak the voice of reasoning when it comes to boxing, that's what you listen to, because you can't be sold by glitter. Okay. Right. And you're sold by the substance of things, something that you can take root to. Right. And that's what I like to plug, and that's what I like to support. So again, thank you for having me on. I'll return and support you, you know, and you guys can look for me out there on my channel as well.
What's your channel, brother? What's the name? So
my channel is just like my name, Stormy B Man.
Got you.
And that's
I'll check you out. No worries.
I'm doing the thing. I got three shows a week that I do. The Tuesday Tussle, which is 8 p.m. Central. The Thursday show is the Three Wise Men of Boxing with myself, Kurt, and Scrapbook. That's 8 p.m. Central. And then I got a show I do on Friday evenings, 8 p.m. Central, the Friday night chop session, where I do like a weekend review of boxing news and things like that, covering the sport.
Okay, that's cool, man. I'll definitely check you out.
No doubt, bro. Hell yeah, man. Brian, my man Brian. That was my man Stormy B, man. Go check out his channel. Also, Mr. Anderson's, man. I'm gonna go sub as well. You know what I mean, man? Thank you for coming to the panel, man. Gracing us with your boxing knowledge as well, man. You guys rock. Brian, take it away, brother.
Okay. Quite simply, right? Started boxing when I was 7 years old. I boxed till I was 30 years old. From there, I went to coaching for 7 years. Really, the last year I really haven't coached due to this planned shit, you know, fuck thing, you know.
Yeah.
But I've been involved majority of my life. Comes to boxing, love the sport, right? From the amateur level, love the sport. Even though there's fuckery there too.
Yeah.
What I loved about the old fighters was they never complained. They were men. They acted like men. They, you know, they're the reason I love the sport. Their dedication to the sport. Their, you know, and I'm just not talking about one fighter. I'm talking about a whole lot of fighters, guys that I've watched, guys I've seen, right? Right. They acted like I expected men to act. They, you know, right. They were my inspiration. I wanted to be a world heavyweight champion when I was young. Mike Tyson was the world heavyweight champion, or he wasn't at that point when but 2 years later, he was a world heavyweight champion. I wanted to be Mike Tyson. I wanted to be world heavyweight champion of the world. I wanted everyone to say, there's the toughest man on earth. I never got to that point, but that's the reason I love this. And the reason I still watch today is because I love the sport.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we can all say that, right? We may be frustrated with the sport. We love it. It's in us. It's within each and every single one of us. That's why we're on panels. That's why we're in chat rooms. We're talking boxing.
It's like our fucking hours of therapy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Right? It's in us. It's up in the brain, in the heart,
Yep.
in our fucking guts. You know, it's in us. We love the sport. That's
Yep.
why we spend so long talking about it.
Yep. Yep. That's a
You
fact,
know,
brother.
and
That's
that's
a
why
fact.
we disagree when we disagree. That's why we agree when we agree.
Right.
That's why we can come here and talk like men about it.
Yep, exactly. And all those trolls that came on to other channels and stuff, these guys want to be forgiven now because they see that, they had to throw their shield down and understand there's no room for that here. You'll always be surrounded with boxing talk, and it's a battle you're going to lose because guys like us who put in the work, you know what I mean, and tell the truth. When we shoot the truth, it shoots them down. Now, if anyone out there has been offended by us speaking of your fighters or your state of mind and your state of fandom with these fighters, then you need to check yourselves because it's more than me and everybody on this panel that's telling you the same thing. It's other people on other lives, on other panels that are telling you guys the same thing. So I think the best thing for you guys to do are just to be pure boxing fans. And that is criticize every fighter, regardless how you do it. It's not how you say it. It's what you mean by it. So we can say Wilder's a fucking fake twerking ass motherfucker that needs to fucking gain a fucking a boxing pedigree. We mean that with love. The only thing is the way we said it. And that's what most of you motherfuckers are worried about. The way we said these things. It doesn't matter. It's the message. The message is we want Wilder to be better. We want Wilder to be better. We want Canelo to fucking, bring his fight selection the way it was, before Mayweather, the way he was fighting, instead of because we could see that he's gimmicked as well. I mean, we want Gennady Golovkin to gain decent fights and guys not ducking him and making it so hard for them to meet face to face, but yet they want to use his name and say they could shit like that. Stuff like this, it needs to be aired out. And we'll always be here to do it. And if you guys catch offense, that means it's working. That means that it is your internal instinct, your knowledge that's telling you, bro, he's onto something, bro. Whoever it is, me, Brian, anybody that's speaking like this, if you are bothered by it and you feel like you want to say something, why don't you be a master Jedi and filter that feeling, right? And filter it out to, you know what? Let me take a look at my fighter. Let me see what these guys are talking about. And you will see. You will see. Regardless how we said it, it's the message behind it. We hate fighters who don't train, talk a gift to gab, make it so hard to make a fight. Then when the fight happens, two things happen. Either the fight is lackluster and they won, or they lose, and all of a sudden we can't hold them to the standard that they held themselves. We can't criticize them. No, bullshit. Boxing was always full of criticism, and it was always constructive criticism, no matter how we said it. We could have said, bro, you fought like a bum. Why? You're mad because we called your fighter a bum? We didn't call him a bum. We said he fought like a bum. Right? There's a difference. That means that you should filter that out and say, damn, my fighter needs to fight better. You should be telling him too. Maybe not as much as putting the word bum behind it, but some people just don't hold their tongue. You cannot control the way people are going to try to express themselves in a situation. If a person is yelling, we shouldn't worry about their demeanor. We have to listen to what they're saying. So if someone comes in and says, there's a fucking monster outside, oh, we can't tell them, calm the fuck down. We got to ask them, okay, wait, a monster? That's how that's handled. Telling someone in their great state of panic to calm down just agitates the situation to the point that now they turn on you. Instead of saying, wait a minute, what did you just say? There's a psychology behind it. There's a psychology in boxing. As a matter of fact, boxing is all psychology. If it wasn't for the mind, there'd be no motor functions. Gotta understand, the mind doesn't really need the body, except for one thing, and that's to give it food. That's it. Look at a paraplegic, right? By themselves, they die. But the home attendant that's there with them, their caregiver, the caretaker, feeds them, giving that brain nutrients. But their body is totally dead. So the brain can't survive without the body. So boxing, and even with strategics as the thinking, It's all mental before it is physical. And people always mistaken the physical in boxing when the physical just does two things. It gains your armor when you prepare for that battle or war, whether you're fighting the guy 2 or 3 times. And at the same time, it helps you hone into your skills. These are the reasons, bro. And it's so evident. You don't have to read a book. You just have to observe. So when you're watching your next pay-per-view, listen to some music and turn off these fucking broadcasters because they're totally biased. And sound is very important, but observation is key. And when you observe a fight with no sound and no bias trying to lead you to a point where your mind is going to struggle with hearing and receiving that information visually, coming from guys that are masters of distraction like this, turn them down and watch it with music like I do, and you will see a different story. You will hear the guys of yesteryear that used to call fights, if you came from that era, in your head automatically. As a matter of fact, you transform yourself into one of those guys in your own mind as you call this fight. You call your own fights. Do not listen to any of these biased broadcasters that are there. I don't give a fuck if they... For me, Andre Ward, he talks good boxing, but he left too soon. He was too young. I feel he still could have went on. So to me, I listen to him. It's about 55% where I agree with him in certain things. But the rest of that, it's just, and it's not a bias. It's just he's not really that experienced. He hasn't been taken really, really into attrition the way he was supposed to. Never gave us the reason why. He just left. And we just said, fuck it. Fuck you then. Right? Okay. So what I'm saying here is, please do not be offended when truth-telling channels that are telling the truth within the sport of boxing are telling the truth. If you do not want to be part of telling the truth and you want to continue, fine. Understand, it is you that is putting yourself on the offensive and the opposition, not us. Because we're always going to talk about the truth in boxing. If you're out there telling a lie, fabricating, full of agendas, when you run into us, you could do two things. You could link up and throw your shields down and welcome to the family of the truth. Or you could keep continuing, like trying to battle something that you're never going to win. Understand that. Otherwise than that, I'm your boy J. Cotto, signing off for Stormy B, Mr. Anderson, Tommy Temper, Brian Hawkin. God bless, stay vigilant, and remember, gain more knowledge in order to become more wiser. Peace, guys.